Hey guys, back again. Well, this time with the second reading of Ivan Franco, but can't lie, it's kind of confusing. I think the entire book is pretty confusing, but you you pick up a little bit of things. Like you pick up things that they make sense. Anyways, well, to begin my reading, we had to answer some questions as usual, and the first question was the maid stole the entire temporarily available exhibition surface from the website hell.com and republished it on 01.org. What do you think they were saying about the copyright and ownership as it relates to art and the internet by this action? Well, even Franco said it, knowledge is plagiarism. Simply for the fact because people say they invented something, but in reality, it's been around for a while. I'm not gonna put this to you. Perfect example. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein figured out math, figured out how to get from 0 to point millimeter, whatever, and people still try to, still use that information and do a lot of things. It's not plagiarism. It's information that's knowledgeable, and nobody gives credit to Albert Einstein for inventing it, but it's his, technically speaking. So that's why I think that overall, even Franco said knowledge is plagiarism. Question number 2. What's the difference between hacktivism and even Franco's theft of Hell.com's exhibition? Well, hacktivism is a hate. It's a form of hate where people go and hack people's stuff and just mess it up. Even Franco didn't want to do that. Even Franco didn't go with the intention of doing that. It's pretty obvious that they just wanted to include some of the information that they found on that website into their art. But like we said, knowledge is plagiarism. Honestly, that goes back to that point because it's just a piece of information that's being put out to the public. I think the public should have the right to republish it the way they want it, the way they interpret it, and that's the way even Franco interpreted things. They just use it in a different manner. That's my opinion. 3. What are your thoughts on Ivan Franco's erection of a huge Nike swoosh in Vienna? Was it any less offensive after you learned that it was art and actually acting against the corporation which it represented? Well, the Nike swoosh sign, it's a big old corporation. Like, if you see Nike anywhere in the world, it's Nike. It's a bomb. It was a bomb that hit the city. Honestly, it took over. It took over every other logo that was there. Like I said, once you see the Nike sign, it's pretty much done. It's Nike. Like, there's no other Nike in the world. So it dominated. It dominated completely. How was Second Life Avatar like a portrait, and how is it different? Well, it's like a portrait because you create a Second Life person that you believe is you. Like a self-portrait, basically. So if I go in a Second Life and I create myself as, I don't know, a rocker, this is that, thinking I'm cool and hard and all built, I could be the tiniest person in the world and not even know it. It's different than a portrait because a portrait, people perceive you because, the artist, whoever's drawing the portrait, perceives you as what you are. You could be of a social class, you could be of a whatever it is, the situation. It really, really depends on the artist. I think that's how it's different because in Second Life, you create your own ways. You create what you really, really, truly are. 5. What type of concerns are the artists raising in synthetic performances? Um, they're raising a lot of concerns. I think the sexuality feminism kind of relates to that. And and I think they're trying to represent Second Life in that point because um, they're trying to say that Second Life you can go in and be whoever you want to be without having to have discriminated or anything like that. And then basically when you go back to the real world, it's kind of like you're back to normal. But it does arise those types of concerns where it's the sexuality, feminism, racism, you name it, they got it. Like, you know. 6. How do these performances function differently when the participant is aware of historical precedent compared with the avatars who don't know that that's supposed to be art? Well, I would have to say the fake identity to fool their audiences. I think they use fake identities, like they just use fake identities to open up people's eyes with their art. I think overall they do it because they believe that it doesn't really matter who gives the information as long as it opens eyes, it moves people. That's the whole point of art, to move people, to send a meaning across. Once you have that meaning across, you're pretty much set, like that's basically, I personally think what artists do. Like, they want to get a meaning across to their audience. It doesn't matter who did it, it doesn't matter your name, they just want to know that like, there's a meaning behind my art and I want you to understand it. So that's pretty cool there. 7. What is Mate's art about, and are there any themes that unite all their projects? Yeah, there's a lot of themes that can unite the projects. Like I said, I don't know. It's about like I said, opening audience's eyes. That's definitely it. If you open the audience's eyes, you're pretty much there. 7. What is the meaning of flogging a dead horse? Well, it's banned, obviously. It pretty much I think it's kind of like Eva and Franco, because they're a band that uses like communication, like a lot of communication, where they put posters and stuff as their main source to represent their aspect of what they're trying to get across to. You don't have to hear the music, you just have to see the poster and you're there. Like it's kind of like Eva and Franco with their Second Life identity, where they make an identity that's them, but it's a secret identity because at the end of the day, you don't even know what these people look like. Same thing with the band, you don't even know what their music is about. I think it's a really, really great comparison. The meaning of the dead horse, I think, would have to be the real world. The real world just is so square, if that makes sense. but like I said, I think it represents even Franco's second identity. Like I said, that's what I got out of it. I wouldn't be able to tell you if that's the right or wrong answer. If any of these are the right or wrong answers. This is what I understood to my knowledge, and overall, like, I think if this is right, then I got the right experience out of it. If it was wrong, well, then it's always good to try to kind of interpret things the way you want to interpret them. Overall, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week with part 3 Viva Franco, and yeah, have a good night.